That's kind of small.
Look, I think it's a perfectly average bird. I'll have you guys know.
Australia has a straight up Pokemon. Introducing the brush-tailed possum. More specifically, the golden brush-tailed possum.
It's so cute. It's literally an IRL Pokemon. What the hell?
Native to the land down under, and one of the rare examples of an Australian animal that isn't expressly designed to DoorDash you straight to heaven. You see, the brush-tailed
I am so glad to hear that these little guys are not evil. Let's fucking go.
is one of a grand total of 23 species of Australian possum, which, despite the name, share absolutely no relation to the red-blooded American opossum.
And you know what? That one's cute too. I feel like they're all cute.
These adorable little marsupials come in all shapes and sizes, from the ringtail possum to the sugar glider, and our protagonist here, the golden brushtail, which is really just a common brushtail possum with a rare genetic mutation called leucism that causes them to lose the pigment in their skin. So basically, it's a fucking shiny Pokemon.
Ayo.
Coming in at around 4.5 kilos and 40 centimeters in length, these tree-dwelling marsupials are nocturnal and primarily herbivores, mainly consisting on a diet of leaves and fruit. And for added cute points, as marsupials, yes, they carry around their babies in a little pouch like their roided out cousin the kangaroo. However, come on, the thing is from Australia, you didn't really think these bad boys would be squeaky clean, did ya? You see, they aren't.
Everything in Australia has an evil history to it. Some evil side that nobody knows about.
Entirely herbivores. Sure, they love a good salad. They will also quite happily raid a bird's nest and turn Tweety's kids into a 3-egg omelette. Roadkill? Sounds like a fine steak dinner to me.
Okay, look, I was like, okay, birds. You know, lots of like small predators hunt birds. But roadkill? Come on, you can be classier than that, than eating roadkill. Please. Please.
And just because it's not a venomous predator doesn't mean it can't take your fucking finger off. And the cherry on top, Aussie Pikachu here doesn't go Pika Pika. No, you see, Down Under doesn't have Pokemon trainers, because when you step into the tall grass out here, you hear this absolute fucking demon.
I feel like that does sound like some sort of Pokemon shriek, though. Just not one of the cute ones, but I feel like it is still definitely in the category of IRL Pokemon for sure.
Australia doesn't just have snakes and spiders, it has a tiger. Well, kinda. Introducing...
That's a scuffed looking tiger, I'm not gonna lie. That tiger looks like the dorky cousin of IRL, like proper tigers.
The thylacine, better known as the Tassie tiger. As the name suggests, native to my home state of Tasmania, this tiny little island off Australia's south coast. No, that is not New Zealand. They have hobbits, not tigers. Oh, tiger isn't entirely correct. You see, the thylacine isn't a cat on steroids.
It's a dog.
See, this bad boy is the largest carnivorous marsupial on the planet.
Another marsupial? Is there a reason why Australia has so many marsupials? I feel like half the animals from there that are not snakes or spiders have a pouch.
The kangaroo coming in at 7 foot tall and throwing kicks like Chun-Li. They are herbivores, and everything else with a pouch that eats meat is about the size of a chihuahua, making this 1.3 meter, 20 kilo kangaroo dog with a tiger persona the only marsupial apex predator. See, these things were ambush hunters, using stealth and speed to silently take down their prey like they're playing Assassin's Creed. On top of being a fully qualified Spec Ops agent, these things had a mouth on them to rival Kirby. Capable of opening their jaw a full 80 fucking degrees, which is absolutely terrifying and really cool. There's just one small problem. You may have picked up on me talking mostly in the past tense, and that all of this footage is in black and white. That's because we don't have a tiger. We had one. Unfortunately, the thylacine was driven to extinction in the late 1980s.
I know, I feel really sorry for calling it a dork. I'm sure it was an extremely impressive tiger.
By what exactly? The British. You see, when the Brits,
Goddamn British. Of course. Who else?
did their thing and decided Tasmania was their house now, actually, they brought with them livestock, namely sheep and cattle, which was a fucking blessing to the Tassie tiger, which rapidly added these walking meatballs with the survival instincts of a wet sock to their meal plan.
It's free real estate.
The colonists did not take kindly to the thylacine taking their livestock without a license in it, so they placed bounties on their heads. Never mind that these things never attacked humans and very rarely took their livestock. No, they were an inconvenience. And so, they were hunted down. One by one by one. For 70 fucking years. Until September 7th, 1936. When the last thylacine, Benjamin, died cold and alone in a cage at the Hobart Zoo. Usually, I'd end these with a joke, but the fact that we wiped his entire bloodline and turned him into a fucking rug, isn't that funny?
That is so sad. For Benjamin, for reals.
Australia just found a new record-breaking insect.
Let me guess. Neurotoxin. Somehow really tiny. You won't even see it coming. What else do they do? Intense pain. That's my predictions. That's the classic Australian. And you know what? Somehow it is also a marsupial because everything somehow is.
Show him to you. How the fuck do we keep finding new bugs? You see, Australia is home to an estimated 200,000 species
That's what I
of
thought.
insect, which is pretty damn impressive, especially when you consider the only place you're going to find more bugs than that is by counting the fucking roach population in Asmongold's walls. Now, the scary part of this is that out of that 200k, we've only actually identified 62,000, meaning that we have no idea what nearly 3/4 of the bugs in the country actually fucking do.
How are Australians still alive?
Jazz.
And so it should come as no surprise that while exploring Australia's dense rainforests, 2 scientists discovered a new record holder for the largest insect in the land down under, and it's a fucking stick bug.
Hey, I love stick bugs though.
Introducing
Oh
Acrophila
god. I love stick bugs, but when they're that big, I can't deal. I feel like for an insect, to me an insect needs to be small. After a certain size, it just becomes a monster to me. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sure it's cute, but I can't.
And coming in at a full 40 centimeters
Sure.
and 44 grams in weight. I don't think that qualifies as a stick insect anymore. That's fucking Groot. Australia's very own Erd tree avatar was discovered in Queensland. Because of course it fucking was. And despite being enough inches in length to make any man jealous, it's actually completely harmless. However, given how many oversized bugs we already have, if we find any more, I think they're gonna send the fucking Helldivers.
So real.
This is the world's biggest spider. But why the f*** is it that big? Introducing Delphosa blondie, a tarantula surprisingly not native to Australia.
I feel like what's interesting is that tarantulas, like even people who fear spiders often will look at a tarantula and be like, yeah, this one's sort of okay. I feel like because they're a bit fluffier and they don't look as, I don't know, gross as other spiders. That being said, I don't think I would let one crawl on me, but I don't find them that creepy.
For once, it's found on the other tyrannid hive continent, South America. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yeah, this thing is fucking huge.
Huh?
Coming in
No, for real?
at a frightening 175 grams in weight.
It's a bit smaller.
And 12 inches in leg span. Damn, boy, he's thick. And those legs are not the only place it's packing inches, because Shelob's cousin here is packing fangs that measure a huge inch in length.
Ooh.
For scale, that is like a 6-foot
claw?
human packing canines the length of a fucking ruler.
Oh.
But the important question, why the f*** is it so big? And the answer
Oh, I
is
hate
that I
it.
have withheld information from you. You see, I introduced this girl by a Latin name. She's much better known as the Goliath Bird Eater Tarantula. That's
my
right, this
gosh.
EDF-sized spider, not unlike me, would fucking kill for some KFC. Literally. These
The one suffering most here is the birds. Imagine you're just a bird, you see some creatures, they're a bit smaller than you, they don't feel that dangerous, they just kind of crawl around, and all of a sudden you're just chilling in your nest, and one of them comes up to you, and it's like larger than you. Do birds feel the horrors when looking at spiders? Because I sure do.
bile titans will quite happily hunt birds, Remy, frogs, and even
Lizard.
And they do all of this
Lizard!
without a fucking web. Yeah, Goliaths are a pure melee build, hunting by prowling the jungle floor, sensing for movement with incredibly sensitive hairs on their legs. These hairs pick up vibrations in the air, which tell them when something is close. And once their spidey sense tells them that Remy's in range,
Oh my
they
goodness.
fucking jump him, biting him with those daggers they call fangs, and injecting him with fucking neurotoxin.
Of
Can I
course.
go 1 week without covering neurotoxin? Of course this thing has it too. You know, I
course.
give up. I give up. They then drag their prey back to their burrow and spit up acidic digestive juices in order to suck their prey up through a fucking straw. This spider hunts with jump scares.
Oh.
But how? Introducing the trapdoor spider, a
This one looks sort of really gross, I'm not gonna lie.
family of arachnid containing hundreds
I don't
of
like this
species
one.
found in every continent on the globe.
No!
Meaning, yes, for once, this bad boy could be in your backyard and you'd
No!
never know.
No, stop! I hate it. No! I live in Europe. Europe is always safe. Don't say that thing could be in my backyard.
Now, trapdoor spiders are particularly interesting compared to other spiders due to their hunting method. You see, normal spiders tend to spend several hours spinning up some elaborate art piece for a fly to clothesline itself on. And tarantulas just jump. But trapdoor spiders, yeah, they hunt with a door. Very early on in life, trapdoor spiders dig themselves a hole. This silk-lined burrow will then serve as its home for basically its entire 20-year lifespan. Hell, they basically never leave the thing, like some neckbeard living in his mum's basement. But they've
Damn.
still gotta eat, and since DoorDash does not deliver to spiders, this burrow doubles as their method for catching food. You see, they use their silk to craft a trapdoor over the burrow entrance. Then, using their fantastic arts and craft skills, they just bolt a bunch of random shit to their front door so it blends in perfectly with the floor.
Damn, they're good. Look at that.
After finishing their construction
Wow.
project, they will spin up a bunch of basically invisible strands of web on the floor in the surrounding area that act as tripwires, feeding information back to their neckbeard nest whenever something steps on it. And when some unfortunate insect steps a little too close,
Money, money, money.
Money! I think that's actually kind of sick. Isn't that the way that most gamers spent their life too? Locked in one room? I'm just saying, maybe we're not fulfilling our potential here. And now that you told me they only live in that hole, well, they're not gonna crawl in my house, so I think we're good. Hi guys! If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you!
this bird is a vampire.
Ayo!
Introducing the vampire groundfinch.
And it looks cool as hell. That's a pretty looking bird.
Native to the Galapagos Islands, and a great example of the horrifying affronts to the universe that evolution can produce when it decides to do a little trolling. Now you see, at first glance, this is the most boring vampire you can possibly imagine. Coming in at a measly 12 centimeters and
Okay,
a mere
no need to shame the size, come on.
20 grams in weight.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Look, I think it's a perfectly average bird, I'll have you guys know.
Rocking a feather pattern I can best describe as a Minecraft dirt block, and as it turns out, the bastards that wrote Twilight lied to me because it doesn't even fucking sparkle.
the skin of a killer bill.
So if it's missing fangs, angst,
No way.
a cape, and the funny accent,
You must bounce on it.
how does it qualify as a vampire? Simple. Drinks a shitload of blood. You see, most birds eat seeds and insects, and while the vampire finch can eat those too, there is a problem. They live on an island, and that island is very small. In fact, they're only found on 2 of the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, wow.
And small islands means a far smaller amount of that food to go around. To the point where these finches can't rely on it as their sole source. Which for a bird usually isn't a problem, because, you know, they don't need a plane ticket to just f*** off and fly somewhere. However, as the name suggests, the vampire ground finch can't fly for shit. So, how do they get their food?
They have massive skill issue. I see how it is.
They suck it out of someone that can. This, don't laugh, is the
Tit.
Nazca booby.
Okay, look, I know there's a bird, I think that's also called a tit. But this one's called a booby. Both good.
Hey, stop giggling back there. Another species of bird native to the islands. They are very strong flyers that feed on fish. They also nest on the islands, which is where our feathery Nosferatu comes to play. You see, when the boobies, stop giggling, come to roost, the vampire finch will sneak over and hop onto their back. Then, using their razor-sharp beak, they will poke a very small, borderline painless hole into one of the bird's flight feathers.
Holy!
Once the blood is flowing freely, the vampire finch gorge themselves on it. See, as it turns out, blood
What
is
the hell?
macro-friendly. And considering these things are living creatures, they just make more blood. In essence, giving the vampire finch an infinite food source. In fact, they can get...
I feel like I know he said it's a vampire. I knew it would be something with blood. I just didn't expect it to be like for real.
so much blood from these birds.
How do
it
they
is
enjoy
not
that?
Uncommon to see multiple finches sucking from the same booby.
Oh my god.
I can't say that.
I see the joke is amazing, but I don't like it.
A lot of people are scared of snakes, but have you ever wondered what snakes are scared of? The answer is this
Bigger snakes.
bird.
Oh.
Introducing the secretary bird.
What is
native
that
to the continent of
thing?
Africa, and a prime example that being a hater pays off.
Damn.
Coming in at 1.3 meters tall,
Dude, I'm sorry, it looks so goofy. What is this
and
thing?
4.27 kilos in weight, this lanky turkey has been purpose-built, nay, expertly f***ing engineered by the gods themselves with the sole purpose of violating the ever-loving out of any garden hose that so much as looks at it the wrong way.
Shush.
You
Venom
see, these
hose.
bad boys are birds of prey, but unlike their cousins in the same category, they are primarily terrestrial, which means they spend most of their time on the ground. This is because their preference for diet is sentient slithering sausages. However, with this thing being endemic to Africa, their preferred meal also just happens to include some of the deadliest predators on the fucking planet. Does this stop the secretary bird?
Nah.
No, mate.
Nah.
Despite having no natural venom resistance, these
Huh?
absolute fucking gigachads will eat cobras, boomslangs, and black mambas without breaking a sweat.
Oh
But
my god, they're menaces. Why is there so many menacing birds? Jeez.
how do they hunt these things without getting bitten? Simple. They just kick the fuck out of them.
Hard to bite a thin leg like that, right?
You see, those long-ass legs aren't just for show, as a secretary bird is capable of accurately curb-stomping a snake's
That
head
image.
into the ground with a force equal to 5 times their fucking body weight.
Please.
So when a secretary bird fancies a bite to eat, they start out by stomping the ground around dense vegetation. This causes snakes in the area to poke their heads out of their houses to see what the f is going on. The snake then looks up in horror as the secretary bird locks onto him, sprints over at Mach 9, and then...
I'm pretty impressed. That bird seems pretty cool.
This bird is a serial killer.
Jesus
But
Christ,
it's so
you're the Bay Harbor
cute.
Butcher.
I really hate that name.
Introducing the Shrike, a group of feathery friends found all over the world, including the land down under.
They look so cute and innocent, though. What do you mean they're murderers? What do you mean?
Now, at first glance, you may be thinking to yourself, how could this sweet little guy be
Right?
a vicious killer? I mean, he's so tiny.
Oh.
They only grow up to around 30 centimeters and cap their weight out at 90 grams. And on top of being about as threatening as a fucking teddy bear, look at their claws. A shrike trying to end anything with its talons is like trying to stab a hippopotamus to death with a fucking pool noodle.
Let me guess. It's venomous. I don't know. That's my first guess when it comes to Australia.
Listen to the thing. It sings like it's on American Idol. It's a songbird, a branch geek. You'd never heard a fly. But I'm fucking onto you, Tweety.
You give me the fucking creeps. You know that, Dexter?
You may have everyone else fooled, but I know exactly what you are, because shrikes actually have another name. They're called fucking butcher birds. Yeah, that's right. The Dexter jokes actually had a fucking point. Now, you see, when the Bay Harbor butcher bird wants to hunt, they first start by selecting a target.
Tonight's the night.
Now, unlike Dexter, their code tells them they can eat whatever the fuck they want. Insects, mice, fuck me, even lizard. And once they pick their meal, they wait for the right moment and swoop on it. Now, while those claws might be fucking useless, they do have a signature weapon. That tiny hook on the end of their beak. And once they land on their victim,
Really?
they slide that hook into its neck, perfectly slotting between their vertebrae and severing their fucking spinal cord. But converting their prey
What?
into a vegetable
No.
isn't enough. No. These sick fucks keep trophies. Once they have paralyzed their prey and shattered its spine, they will fly its corpse back to their larder, which is either a thorn bush or a fucking barbed wire fence.
And once they get home,
They're so hardcore. Even their home is messed up. Damn.
they fucking impale them.
What?
They will then leave that corpse there
That is
for
insane.
days, occasionally biting chunks out of it, eating it like leftovers from the fucking fridge. Dexter collected blood slides. These fuckers create kebabs. This crab is a boxer.
Ayo.
Agree! That's right, stepping into the ring at 0.15 grams.
Oh my god, it's so
in
tiny.
2.5 centimeters in
Oh
length.
my god.
It's the boxer crab. You see, while most crabs use their pinchers to feed and defend themselves, the boxer crab has instead elected
Oh,
to
that video. Oh, I'm in pain. Oh, I hate
step
it.
into
Oh.
CQC and throw fucking hands. And despite their completely average and not at all small size, this
That's
fucker
right.
fights in the heavyweight division, able to punch out hundreds of times its size. But how does nature's little Mac win
That
the
fish.
fights? Well, that's pretty simple. He fucking cheats. You see, those little pom-poms aren't a fashion choice. Those are both sea
Let me guess.
that the boxer crab holds in its claws
Neurotoxin.
uses basically fucking brass knuckles. Now, they get these anemones by finding other boxer crabs who have them, jumping them, and then claiming them like they are a fucking WWE title belt.
Damn.
Now, if you weren't aware, anemones are venomous plant-like animals that, in order not to get eaten, sting the shit out of anything that touches them. Boxer crabs are immune to that sting, but you bet your ass that everything that tries to eat the boxer crab isn't. So, the crab and the anemone enter into a symbiotic relationship, essentially becoming an aquatic venom.
Bro literally got himself boxing gloves. I think that's so cool.
With the anemone getting
That's
some
so
of the crab's
cool.
food, and the crab gaining venomous brass knuckles. So, whenever a predator gets in the ring with Crab Tyson here, he'll wait for it to get just within striking range, and then...
Mr. Squidward, I should kick your f***ing ass!
Damn! What a punch!
Scientists just discovered a new fish.
Again? Wait. No, I'm sorry. Earlier it was an insect. Also, this fish is kind of cute.
Ridiculous. This is the
It's
bumpy
cute.
snailfish, a freshly discovered species
Oh my god, look at his face! Oh.
found off the coast of California.
Wow.
What makes
Not even an Australian. Look at that.
this absolute specimen stick out is that it's a deep sea fish found at a depth of 3 kilometers. And I am here to tell you exactly why. Because once God finished building this thing, he took a step back, looked at it, realized exactly how fucking chopped it was.
It's
and
not.
punted that thing into the depths of the ocean where no one would ever see it again.
Damn.
Free!
However, thanks to the hubris of mankind, it is here before us today to take the piss out of.
No, leave him alone. It's so cute.
Top of his head!
I mean, fucking look at it. It is a profoundly
I think I just like ugly things. I think that's my problem here.
unserious creature. I do not think a single fucking thought has ever spawned behind those eyes.
Leave him
Not
alone.
to mention the fit on it. It looks like an aquatic, uncooked turkey with a fucking smiley face drawn on
It kinda
Coming
does.
in at a solid 3 inches in length, Bumpy here is not the only species of snailfish. There's others that look like this. However,
Also
unlike
Dork
his
Pete.
cousins, God deemed it so that this poor little f***er would be built like a shaved testicle. The scientific term for a pair of these should be a sack.
It's true. What the fuck?
However, despite the fact that he looks like a sperm cell with a receding hairline, I love him.
Thank you. Me
He's so
too.
cute. Look at that smile.
Right?
This reminds me of Sackboy on the PS3.
Right?
I know when they got his ass on camera, he looked at it and went,
You know, when you showed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong places, so I'm a little f***ed up. But will you take care of me forever and ever?
I love him. I love